Her love for you is always going to be conditional. Her love for you is always conditional. Recently, I heard a YouTuber, fellow Red Pill YouTuber, talking about how women can never love you. And I don't, I used to, I've considered that and I've thought about it. I used to think about it. And I don't believe that's the case. I don't think women can't love men. I think women can love men. But I don't think their love is the same that I don't think their love is the same type of love that men have. I don't think they love in the same way, the same type of way that men love women. I don't believe a woman's love is unselfish. I don't believe her love is not solipsistic. I believe that everything, in every way a woman loves a man, it's conditional. It can be replaced. And maybe there's a reason for this, maybe the reason is that, you know, um, it has to do with biology, maybe that the man always has to be, impressing her. And this is why you always hear that men need to stay on their purpose when they're around a woman, and men need to, um, not put her on a pedestal and things like that. Um, and that's not bad advice per se. I just quite, obviously, if you listen to my channel, you know that I'm a bit different in that I don't want I would never want to do that. I would never want to have to constantly impress a woman. But the thing is men love idealistically, women love opportunistically, which means that if a woman and this is the source of the double standards in relationships, right? You always hear that coming from women, you always hear that men need to love her for who she is, and if you can't love me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. All these things that women use, all these things that women throw out to men, but it's always one-sided. It's always one way. It's never reciprocal. They never say that, they never hold themselves to the same standards that they put on men. So they want the man to accept her past. They want the man to accept everything about her, all her debt, all her bad decisions, all her baggage, right? But yet the man, he still has to be a winner. He still has to have high value. He still has to be a breadwinner. He still has to have a lot of resources. He still has to love her deeply and unconditionally. Yet she puts all these conditions on him, you see. So this is the game that women play. This is the double standards that women adhere to. And everything is double standards, right? It's not just that, it's everything. Everything in their mentality is double standards. The way they treat men, the way feminism talks bad about men, the way they have no problem throwing men under the bus, the way they totally talk bad about men, all the bad things men do, blah, blah, blah. But any man who says anything bad about a woman, all of a sudden he's a misogynist and it's hate speech and he could never, right? He should never say those things. And, oh, you must hate your mother and all the things they say to men who tell the truth. But yet when they speak their truth, there's no problem, right? So these are the double standards that they themselves are founded on, right? And you see this if you actually pay attention. But a lot of times men are so blue-pilled, they're so conditioned by their pursuit of this true love and happily ever after that they overlook so many things. They throw their own standards out, And I think, unfortunately, that's a part of how men love, because men love in a sacrificial way. We have no problem. Well, I wouldn't say no problem, but men are able to overlook so much when it comes to women for our love. And it's because of our love. It's not because, well, it is because of our conditioning to a good extent, but it's not because, we don't know any better per se. I think that men know better, but because our love is so deep, because we have, I don't know why, but we have this type of love that is really, really sacrificial and idealistic, we do overlook a lot of things. And I can't say all men, because there are a lot of men out there who do have quality standards, right? Who do have solid set standards. So there's a lot of men who are really just so blue pill and beta that they really do overlook horrific things in a woman. And, for instance, single moms, for instance, women with STDs, women who have a like a very high body count. Of course, a lot of women, they struggle with that, and they try to condition men to not be like that and try to do all this stuff to make it so it's not a thing, but it will always be a thing, and it should always be a thing, because if you're a real man, if you are a quality man, you should want to know where she's been. And if she's been all over the map, she's been a tramp, then you're not doing yourself a service by marrying or getting into a long-term relationship with that type of girl. But so many men will overlook that because of our type of love, because of our idealistic love. However, a woman's love is opportunistic. And again, I don't believe that a woman can't love a man. I don't believe that. I think that women do love men, but their love is different. They love us for how we make them feel. They love us because of our high value. They love us in a selfish, solipsistic way. They love us in ways that are self-serving, that serve them. They love what we do for them, and they love us secondly. First of all, they love what we do for them, and secondly, they love us. So I can't say that women don't love a man, but mostly they love a man for what he does for her, right? And this is observable, and unfortunately, this is a harder one to observe. It's a harder one. It's not so obvious, right? It's harder to pick up on. And I think that women are the subtle sex. They are the subtle gender. It's very difficult to pick up on some things they do because of their subtlety. And unfortunately, we have to learn the hard way, or sometimes men don't learn at all. A lot of men, particularly the men who are like, particularly the men who really kind of are prideful in their own achievements, right? If that makes sense. Men who feel like they've won the woman because of their achievements. These are the hardest type of men to reach, the hardest type of men to get through to, because they're actually playing into hypergamy. They're actually playing into a woman's solipsistic love because of their own, because of the way that they go about, finding a woman and getting a woman. They believe they have to earn a woman in a way. And so it's part of it for them, right? They think, oh, well, I've got her, I won her. And women will use this. Women will purposely look for this type of guy because they want men to win them, so to speak. And the reason why they want men to win them is because it plays into her goals, right? It plays into her hypergamy. Not only does it play into her ego, which says, I'm the prize. Women really do think that they're the prize, on the one hand. On the other hand, they're seeking for the guy who is the prize also, right? Because he's the highest value guy they can get. This is hypergamy. They're always looking for the highest value guy they can get. And that's not love, really. That's not a real type of love. So it's not that women can't love men. It's that their love is hypergamous. Their love is solipsistic, right? So I've said quite a lot in old videos. I've said hypergamy is not love. I don't believe it's love. I don't believe it's the right kind of love. But it doesn't mean a woman who's hypergamous can't love a man. You could love something, but it doesn't mean that love is the best type of love, or it doesn't mean that love is a real type of love. It just means that, yes, you might love something. Like I might love, let's say an alcoholic might love alcohol, but does that mean his love is a quality love? No. His love is a dangerous love. His love is a self defeating love. His love is a self it's a love that's bad for him, right? Well, with women, it often works out with men because men are basically are not red pilled. Men are not red pilled, and because they're not red pilled, they don't recognize these things. So they think they're winning, right? They think, oh, well, I've got her, I won her, she chose me because I was ready, because I had the resources. And you'll see this, and it's a weird type of thing. It's like it's really just self-deception. Like, in a way, these guys kind of deserve what they get because they're also being egotistical, because they look at life differently. They look at life as if it's a big game or something. Like, I'm winning the game because I have the most resources, and now I got the woman, right? Like, I always refer to this movie Scarface, right, with Al Pacino, and he's got that one scene when they're sitting at the pool, and he's like, in this country, first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the woman, right? First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the woman. And that's true. That's true in a country that is sick, right? A country that is, greedy, capitalist. And, again, I'm not sitting here preaching communism. I'm not sitting here preaching socialism or anything like that. But I'll tell you, I've met a lot of very down to earth, cool Russian guys. Telling you. And I've met some decent Russian women. Of course, female nature's female nature, but it's better than over here, right? And the reason why is because on the one hand, they've suffered, right? People who have suffered, grew up in poverty or grew up, hard way, whatever. People who've suffered, they tend to be deeper in their soul. They tend to be deeper in their heart, right? On the one hand. On the other hand, when you have a kind of camaraderie, fellow love for your brother type of idealism, right? Which is not solipsistic in its nature, which is like America's culture. America's idealism is very selfish, all about me, all about my goals, all about my capitalism, my money, my advancement, my achievement, my ambition, my, right? America is a very, very selfish nation, and we pretend like we're not. We have this veneer of like, oh, together we stand, divided we fall, united we stand, woo, woo, woo. We talk this big game in America about, oh, we're the best country because we really care and we really love our fellow. Not really. When it comes to the hubris of America, the essence, the ethos, or whatever the fuck that word is, of America, it's very selfish. Very, very, we have a very, very selfish country. It's all about the self, and to such an extent where we really don't give a crap about our neighbors. We really don't give a crap about our fellow citizens. We only care about ourselves. In fact, I would venture to say many in America actually like it when their fellow citizens don't do well, because it means that they can do well or whatever. It's like that. We have the type of national character where we just laugh at other people. We just laugh at people who are not successful and things like that. So we're a very selfish nation. And I believe that carries over and it plays into hypergamy. So a lot of these men, they think they're winning. They think, oh, well, I've got the house, now I got the woman, everything's going great, da 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 da. But they don't realize, and they don't have a deeper understanding of what real love is. Real love suffers through hardships. Real love is loyal. Real love is not opportunistic. It doesn't real love doesn't leave. It doesn't fade away when circumstances change, right? So when a woman is women love opportunistically and women love conditionally. So if those conditions, whatever those conditions may be, I'm not saying that it's always just money that a woman goes for, but bottom line, a woman really expects a man to have a good job and a house. Bottom line, right? Now, some women have higher standards in the sense that they want a man who makes $100,000 a year as opposed to $50,000 a year, and those women are more obvious and they get outed more. But a woman can be very subtle, and she'll make it look like it's all about you. It's all about who you are. Women are very good at that. They're very good at playing the game and making you think that they're not attracted to you for your money or your steady lifestyle, which is paying mortgage, providing resources, bottom line, right? she'll make it look like it's all about you. She'll Women are experts at making you think that, it's just you, and they're very, very good at making you believe that they really love you. They're really good at making you believe that they really respect you and things like that. And they're very good at making men feel good about themselves. There's something about a woman that makes a man feel good about himself. Like, oh, she wants me, she chose me, she's giving me all this attention, I feel better about myself, I feel like I'm the man. And yet he doesn't realize that, well, it's conditional. All you have to do is lose your resources, lose your steady job, lose your mortgage, and she'll be gone. But it's the sad thing is that men will actually subconsciously accept that. And they'll still think that that's love, and they'll still think, well, that's my duty as a man. I need to go out and make these resources. I need to, and if I don't do that, then I don't deserve a woman, or I'm not worthy of love, or I'm telling you, subconsciously, men will think that way. So whatever the conditions were that she loved you on initially, the reasons why she loved you, if those change, her love for you will dry up. Her love for you, her attraction to you, her respect for you, all that will go out the window if you stop doing the things that she likes, if you stop doing the things that she was attracted to you in the first place for. And again, what does a woman want? Deepest, of all, it's not a man, it's not love, it's not any one particular man. It's a man who has resources, a man who gives her security. This is the bottom line. Now, does it mean that you can be ugly and you can be a dirty pig and you can be a jerk and all these things? No, you need to do those things too. She wants those things as well. But bottom line, you have to provide her security. You have to provide her with resources. And this is how she respects you. This is how she believes that you are a worthy man for her, bottom line. And then after that, you need to check out, you need to check off these other boxes. You need to check off the looks box. You need to check off the personality box. Are you funny? Do you have humor? Are you fun to be around? All these other things. But again, if that bottom line thing changes, you lose your job, you get sick, happens all the time. Guys get sick, they lose their job, they become disabled or whatever. Their wife leaves them. Their wife cheats. Their wife is no longer attracted. And it's a conundrum in the sense that many people would argue and say, well, of course she's not attracted anymore. He's not even healthy anymore. He's sick, or he's this, or he's that. And it's like, yeah, but what about love? What about your loyalty? What about you're loving him? And you realize that so many people actually, whether subconsciously or not, if you put them to the test, they'll fail that true love test. They'll fail that loyalty test. People are only, and it goes to the same for like friendship. People are only loyal as long as you're doing the things that they like about you, right? As long as you're providing that thing that they like about you, whatever that is. And like I said, it goes for friendship as well. It goes for friendship. It goes for many relationships. The only real relationships that are not like that are, if you're lucky enough to have a good family, your family members will love you despite your your bad habits, or despite your faults, despite your shortcomings. Your family members will stick with you, your family, right? But not your family in the sense that your husband or wife. No, she will leave. And and then of course, you have your parents. Your parents will love you unconditionally. They'll always love you, even if you're a bum, even if you're a total loser, you're a total shithead. They'll still love you. They'll still always love you, right? They might not be proud of you, but they'll always love you, and they'll never leave you. But a woman will leave you. She has to have those conditions met. If you stop doing the things that she likes, you start acting different, you get religion or something, you and this is why so many relationships don't work out, because people change, right? Now, if you meet somebody in their 40s or whatever, and like, yeah, they're pretty set in who they are, their lives are pretty steady, their lives are pretty set. If you meet someone when they're 20, there's a lot of change that person could go through over the next 20 years. And this is why they say, well, people grow apart, because people change. And then when people change, you lose attraction. People change. But again, the statistics don't lie. It's 75 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Most relationships are ended by women. So if she changes or if he changes or she just decides to do something else, it's all about her. This is why they say, you know, um, all a woman has to do is change her mind. All she has to do is change her mind. And this is, the top, one of the top three reasons for divorce: irreconcilable differences, meaning I just changed, we grew apart. You always hear this, oh, we grew apart, we just changed, we're just two different people now, and blah blah blah. But again, it's usually, almost always, in 3 out of 4 cases, or 75-85%, or 75 to 80% of relationships are ended by women. So the women are the ones who are changing, the women are the ones who are having a change of heart 3 out of 4 times. It's not the men. It's mostly the women. What does this tell you? A man loves in a loyal way. A man loves idealistically. This is why a man can go years and years without getting into a new relationship. Go years and years, without you know uh, moving on from a relationship. Whereas a woman can go weeks or months and she's already moved on. A guy could go 5 years without, your 3 years or something like that, without moving on from a relationship. A woman, it might be a couple months and she's already in a new relationship loving some other guy, right? Because this is the difference between male and female love, and the way our hearts are set up and things like that. Now, why is this? That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe survival. Maybe it has to do with biology. You could surmise that. You could consider that. I don't know. I've considered it, but I don't know. I want no parts of that. I want no, I don't want to have to always impress a woman. I don't want to have to always be doing something that, oh, I always got to bring something to the table. It's like I'm a tap dancing monkey, like I'm a performance artist. Like I can't just be myself. Oh, I can't change. I can't gain weight. What if I just gain weight? What if I have a thyroid problem, and I have no energy and I gain weight and I have to get disability and I have to take off of work? Or what if I have an accident and lose my arm or something? I mean, things happen in life, and it's like, how could you have security? How could you sleep at night? How could you not have constant anxiety if you're always worrying about, oh, I got to impress my woman, I got to be this kind of guy? And I've seen so many relationships like that, where it's obvious the man is still performing, still performing, still performing. And what does that tell you? It tells you she's the prize, right? Even though she tries to warp it around and act like he's the prize, or he's the highest, he's the prize in the sense that he's the highest value guy she could get. Really what's going on is he's a performance artist to keep her around. And this is just animalistic to me. This is something you see in nature, where the man, the animal, the male bird, or the male, whatever, is always performing, always, the male lion's always got to fight off the other lions. And if he loses, then the woman will go to the other lions or some shit like that. That happens in nature, but why does it happen in the human kingdom? We should be higher than that. We should have a higher type of life. We should have a higher type of love, but we don't. And this is the way women are, or at least women don't. Why do men have that type of love, and yet women don't? Why do we as men love idealistically? Why do we have that type of idealistic love, and we always have to be impressing the woman, we always have to be winning her love, we always have to be, and it's like, it's such a performance. But anyway, I think I'm gonna end it there, guys. Appreciate you listening. Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.